Hey, I'm here for the big show.
Generations of filmmakers have depicted the issue of abortion, from stories about illegal procedures to perfectly legal and uneventful abortions, and even the abortion pill. So, following the Supreme Court decision to strike down Roe, how will a new reality in America begin to make its way onto screens?
I'm going to insert a speculum. It's going to cause some pressure. Here it goes. This is it.
Abortion in film is not new. Perhaps the earliest example is the 1916 movie Where Are My Children? In this film, based on the trial of Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger, a lawyer prosecuting an illegal provider finds out that his own wife has had multiple abortions, which have rendered her infertile. The movie simultaneously argues a racist and eugenic point that birth control is important for some women, but that wealthy women who choose abortion are selfish. Early films often told cautionary tales depicting the procedure as traumatic and life-upending. But over the years, storylines in movies have begun to evolve to become more compassionate and certainly more accurately display the varied experiences of women and the realities of abortion.
This might be a little cold, okay? Don't move.
My experience with abortion on film is like, European films that scarred me for life, like the truly the backroom abortion scene.
Alex Thompson and Kelly O'Sullivan worked together on the film St. Francis. The movie follows a nanny and juxtaposes her taking care of a child during the day while just making the decision to terminate her own pregnancy.
Hey, I think you might be on your period. There's a little bit of blood.
A lot of blood.
I had an abortion when I was in my early 30s, and all of the TV and film I had seen that had depicted abortions made it seem really scary. And when I went through the actual process, I felt relieved. I found the process to be, while complicated, actually pretty simple. And so I really wanted to show a quote unquote normal abortion that isn't surrounded by traumatic events and that doesn't involve a lot of hand wringing and doubt and regret, but a woman knowing immediately, or a person knowing immediately, that it wasn't the right time.
Tonight I found some clothes with fresh blood on them, and I thought for just a split second that Maya had maybe tried to hurt herself or...
Oh God, no, those are mine. No, I had an abortion a couple of months ago, and I've been bleeding off and on ever since, and that's TMI.
I feel like in most TV and film, we've seen the woman really spend a lot of time questioning her decision. And I'm sure that happens to many women in real life, but it had been a pretty monolithic exploration of doubt in terms of abortion. And so I wanted to show the other version, which is, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm not going to have this baby, because I don't think that gets enough screen time either. The lack of doubt, the lack of regret.
Shonda Rhimes has just been like a complete game changer for how we portray abortion on network television. Certainly Grey's Anatomy has had several abortion plot lines. Private Practice had Addison as a provider, making decisions about provision and talking about why it was important to her to be an abortion provider. Scandal was actually the first, and then the second show to actually show the full abortion procedure on screen. And now she's at Netflix. Like Bridgerton had an attempted self-managed abortion in season 1. Her absolute commitment to this type of storytelling has, I think, really opened the doors for a lot of other writers and content creators who want to include that on network TV.
I shouldn't be here. I should not be here. I should be able to just walk down the street and open a door and waltz right in and say, hello, my name is Veronica. My boyfriend is an asshole. Here's my $500. Oh, yes, I would love a cup of water. Thank you so much.
I'd already been on that journey of trying to normalize my own abortion. And then this book came to me, and it felt like a perfect way to take that to the next step and really get to share my perspective through my art.
Rachel Lee Goldberg is the director of Unpregnant. Her film details the adventures of a 17-year-old pregnant teen and ex-best friend as they travel from Missouri to New Mexico to get an abortion.
The sort of idea of this not having to be a sad thing, and it can just be something that's essential and something that happens is really important, and is a perspective that's real. It's a comedy, but the comedy in the film largely comes from making fun of the journey, and that's how I feel very confident saying that it's bullshit that these people have to travel this far to get a medical procedure.
Unpregnant was made in 2020, but following the Supreme Court's decision in 2022, abortions in Missouri are now permitted only in cases of medical emergency. There are no exceptions for rape or incest under the law. Abortion is still legal in New Mexico, which is readying to become a destination for women seeking care. Depictions of abortion have come a long way since the infancy of Hollywood and the institution of the Hays Code in 1930. The Hays Code was a system of self-censorship for films, requiring movies to be wholesome and moral. If a character had an abortion in a movie, the Hays Code required that they'd meet an unhappy ending. Usually, characters died, were abandoned, or ultimately chose not to have an abortion. The Hays Code officially ended in 1968, paving the way for more diverse coverage of abortion.
Dirty Dancing continues to be one of my favorite abortion stories that is in American film. I just love it because I love that the whole plot of the movie is really propelled by Penny's friend's desire to help support her get an abortion, right? To help pay for the abortion, to help cover her day off of work, and to help keep her safe after that abortion turns out to be dangerous, and to really support her in that work. It's really the driving force for the whole film.
Doc, thanks a lot.
Husband, I don't know how to thank you to tell you.
As the battle to secure reproductive rights ramps up in individual states, the role that films and TV can play in the battle for public opinion may be more essential than ever to what comes next.
I think demystifying the process. I didn't know before I went and got a medication abortion that was even possible. I assumed it was going to be surgical. And so I think there are probably still a lot of people out there who don't know exactly what an abortion might entail for them. And we wanted to show the process of putting the pills in your cheek and letting them dissolve, and then you might get sick, and the recovery process, so that people can feel seen by it who've had abortions before, and that people who might want to seek abortions in the future don't feel scared.
Well, speaking for myself, I'm already on to my next abortion project. Deep in abortion project number 2 right now. So, I'm hoping that other people will be compelled to do the same, as artists and filmmakers and people in media.
It demands more and more specific stories, which I think is the trend that we're seeing already. But I hope this lights a fire, and maybe those storytellers who have stories to tell that are sort of burning inside feel compelled to tell them now. We're already seeing it, but I'm excited for that next stage of stories to be told.